Hey, so today we're going to check out Dead Cells. It is a recently released game on Steam. It's still in early access, though you wouldn't know it to play it. It's basically a Metroidvania, probably more on the Castlevania side than on the Metroid side. Castlevania-inspired roguelike. It reminds me a lot of Rogue Legacy, and but instead of having sort of the kind of the whimsical we're playing a video game attitude of Rogue Legacy, it's got much more of a kind of the classic horror fantasy vibe you get from something like Castlevania. So the moment-to-moment gameplay feels great. Jumping around, hitting guys. It's very accessible, very responsive. So they kind of have the same advantage that, say, Destiny has, which is just the feeling of playing the game just by itself is kind of is up there with the best in class. It feels really great to play. But that's only a kind of a small part of what I like about it. We'll kind of go through this as we go. Okay, so there's a variety of different weapons. You can see along the bottom left corner of the screen the particular collection of weapons that I've assembled for this particular playthrough. I'm going to spend some of my gold, grab one of my favorite swords, which is the rapier. The rapier is special because if you hit right after you roll, you get one critical hit. And since that's basically how I play, I'm a very rolly, dodgy sort of player. It basically feeds right into the way that I play this game, and also every game that gives me a dodge roll. So you see that first hit just does a lot more damage than most of the other hits that I do. The downside is it's kind of pokey. I don't move as much when I'm using it. These little vials right here are one of the main things that I'm going after when I'm playing the game. This right here, it's a universal one. I've got health, which kind of is health. Strength affects my primary weapons, how much damage they do. Skills affects my secondary stuff, how much damage it does and how often I can use it. I tend to lean towards being a glass cannon naturally, and so I pretty much always grab strength when I have the option. Mostly because it just feels so good to flatten the enemies in this game. Get down in the hole. Okay. So the basic flow of this game is, I imagine you're trying to get to the end. That's your main goal. I've never seen the end. I haven't beaten this game yet. There's more strength. That's good. There's a guy with a shield. I'm trying to get to the end, and the problem is, these levels and these enemies that I'm facing get harder and harder over time. And they're procedurally generated levels. I can't just sort of learn their patterns. There are basic patterns that I can learn, but I can't just sort of memorize. There's no way to, you can't just sort of memorize something and speedrun the game. Like it's got, each time you play through, it's a little bit different. And so what you're trying to do, and what upgrades are available to you, everything is just a little bit different every time. And so what I'm trying to do is play as much and upgrade as much as I can in the early levels so that I have enough strength to handle the later levels. So the Promenade of the Condemned, that's a place I could go right now, except I look at my map. Have I seen everything yet? I don't see any of the other exits, which means that I've got some maze left to explore. So I'm going to grab that teleport back down here, and it looks like on the other side of this treasure room, there's another place that I can go. Over here. So I want to, because this first level is pretty easy, there's not a whole lot of challenge, I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I want to take advantage of every square inch of this thing. So, okay, so it looks like there's no enemies left. Looks like I really have maximized this map. So I'm going to go. So I'm going to go to the ossuary. The ossuary is actually, I just barely unlocked this yesterday. This actually, if we go through it, the Promenade of the Condemned, which is behind my head, it's like right there. Promenade of the Condemned is the first place you have access to from this level. Once you've unlocked the ability to grow vines out of the ground, then the Toxic Sewers unlocks here, because you can use vines to get to them. And then after you get deep enough into the sewers, you unlock those little teleporters, this thing. You unlock the teleporters, which give you access to this entrance. And so each of these levels, the Promenade, the sewers, the ossuary, they get increasingly difficult, but also for a low-level character like me, but they're also more profitable. Like, each of them they got more enemies, more resources, and so if I want to be able to get further in the game and be powerful enough to deal with the tougher enemies, I really need to be playing through the ossuary. So right here, this is the shop where I buy long-term meta-level upgrades. So early on in the game, I only have access to a couple of weapons, and those weapons are kind of low-level. But as I go through the game, I collect these resources from dead enemies called cells. And if I can get to the end of a level, the level always ends in this little shop here, where I can spend them on these long-term upgrades. The long-term upgrades mostly give you variety. They give you a little bit of power, particularly the health upgrades and the gold upgrades give you a significant boost to your power. But most of your real moment-to-moment combat power is stuff that you earn in the levels themselves. So the health upgrade, basically gives you more often. You can use potions more often, but your actual length of your health bar, that doesn't upgrade on the meta level. I have to actually go and find health upgrades in order. Each time I do a playthrough of the game, I need to go find health upgrades to widen my bar. So it's an interesting design challenge to sort of figure out what the split should be between those two, like what you upgrade on the meta level, what the player sort of gets better at continuously over time, which upgrades they get to keep, versus which upgrades they have to keep re-earning every time they play through. Because this game has got that roguelike structure where, if I let myself die, that's it. I'm going all the way back to the beginning and starting again. But, oh crap, this guy. Oh, I hate those things. Okay. So, oh man. I managed to get here without any secondary weapons. Usually what I use to fight that is a secondary weapon. Because that thing, it basically damages everything in an area around it. Maybe I can do enough damage if I roll towards it. Whew, okay, I can't. So at least I got the rapier. That's the thing that I think is one of the great advantages of Dead Cells, is the fact that unlike a lot of traditional linear Metroidvania-style games, I'm not unlocking a predictable series of weapons that, at level 5 or at this section of the area, the game designer knows that I have this exact set of equipment, and so they can design challenges specifically for that. And when I get into that area, I'm like, oh, I know what they want me to do here, and you figure it out. This game isn't that way. This game is, they set up just sort of general type situations, certain kinds of enemies, and then you have to basically, you kind of assemble a set of abilities over time, and each time your set of abilities is different. And depending on what your set of abilities is you've managed to accrue semi-randomly over the course of the level, that determines how hard each challenge is. And not just how hard linearly, but like let's see here. Okay, do I want the flaming sword? Flammable sword? Well, enemies explode on death and they have a freeze effect. That's pretty cool. Yeah, let's swap that in. It's a better sword. Anyway. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, oh man, I hate bouncing off shield guys. Let me take care of these shield guys for a second. Oh crap. Oh man. One thing I love, keep an eye on my health bar, by the way, because one thing that's really interesting this game does is, when you take damage, it turns your health bar yellow for a segment, and you slowly lose that yellow bar, but whenever you kill an enemy, you get back some yellow. Like, if you have some yellow bar, you get it back whenever you damage somebody. And so, the best move when somebody hits you isn't to run away. The best move is always to keep attacking. Keep dodging, keep avoiding their hits, but you want to take somebody out before you run out of yellow, before your health ticks down all the way. Anyway, so I want to find another one of these guys. So the last time I came through here, for example, I had some major damage over time abilities. And basically, like damage over time grenades. And so whenever I ran into one of these big sword guys, or if I ran into one of those like stationary emplacements, or this thing right here. These guys, this thing that spawns endless enemies until you take it out, I would always just... Let's see here. Oh, now I'm out of ammo because I haven't killed anything. There we go. I would always just throw my damage over time stuff at it and just throw it and then run away and let it take care of it and then come back. And they were pretty easy. Now that I'm doing a playthrough where I don't have any of those abilities, just because none of them, I love them, I would have grabbed them, except none of them have happened to drop. Now I'm forced to deal with those same enemies in a different way. And so it's cool because it keeps the game interesting. Like every time these doors. I have something to say about these doors. Each time I play through, I know I'm gonna have a different experience. Like it doesn't ever become rote. Like I'm never just like, oh, okay, yeah, I know how to do this. I know how to deal with this. Whatever. I gotta play through this. Oh wow, chicken, carrots, yum. There's never a point where it just becomes rote. Where I'm like, okay, I've got to get through this level again, then get through this level again in order to finally get to the third level, which is where I'm stuck. Like. Each time, the strategic part of my brain is engaged. I didn't just learn the strategy and then I go on autopilot, because that's what will make a game boring. That's what will make a game rote. Instead, oh crap! Oh, that's the worst. Oh, that freaking guy. Ugh. So that enemy was standing between me and the thing I was trying to kill, and so I couldn't do any damage to it because I kept damaging that one dude instead. So this bow that I have does extra damage to an enemy at close range. Oh crap! But it goes right over these guys' heads. That's good to know. Unless I crouch first. So there's several different strategies you can use with these enemies. One is to go right after the generator. The other one is just to kill all the enemies that come out of it. Okay, new ranged weapon. So I love the infantry bow, but this lightning bolt, you can see it's going to give me a health boost if I pick it up, and I haven't found any health upgrades. So I need that. So I'm switching to the lightning bolt. And hopefully... Yeah, there we go. So lightning bolt's powerful. They warn you that something bad happens if you use it for too long. I just don't know what that is. By the way, check out the camera work on this elevator. So, relative to the oh man, that wasn't very long. Dang it. Okay, I'm gonna find a longer elevator because there's a lot of little touches in this game that really make it work, that make it just much better than it has to be, and a lot of them are subtle, just feel things, like the way the elevators work. I've been completely ignoring my chat, by the way, because I've got so much to say about this game. So I apologize to folks that are watching me on Twitch. Oh, okay, here we go. Nope, that's not going to work. I haven't found a single grenade ability yet. That's just crazy. All right. That gold I've been picking up, I'm pretty sure it's from my Moonstone amulet. Yeah, it's got that ability. You get gold whenever whenever you get a dead cell from an enemy. So whenever one of those blue things drops, I also get this chunk of gold. One thing I just love about this game is that they really go out with just the random upgrades you can have. Some of the weapons you can have just like throw. Oh, you also throw a grenade whenever you. Oh my gosh! Seriously. Here I am trying to talk. Well, hey there, Mitch. Hey there, McKillum. Hey there, Cloudcraft. It's good to see you all. So, okay, I guess it's worthwhile to show what happens when you die in Dead Cells. So you go right back to the beginning of the game. If you've bought the right upgrades, you get a percentage of your gold back. And if you've bought the right upgrades, you can get some interesting starting weapons. It looks like now I've got the blood sword that does damage over time and the crossbow that sprays projectiles everywhere. Yeah, that's pretty good. So notice whenever you pop through a door with an attack, it damages. It doesn't just damage enemies, but it stuns the enemies, which makes it particularly valuable for certain enemies that you really want stunned. They do this thing where it's like every feature of this game, you can sort of see the thought process they went through. They're like, okay, Yeah, doors are going to damage enemies. That means are going to specifically stun enemies. That means we need to have certain enemies that are particularly valuable to be stunned, and we're going to want to make sure that there are doors everywhere. Like they do a really good job of efficiently using everything they've built. Because this game doesn't have a lot of individual discrete features. I mean, you know, isn't like they've got doors and windows and chairs and tables and, you know, or whatever. They haven't come up with, you know, a million different things to interact with. They come up with a few things, but then they make sure those things have a lot of ramifications. There's a lot of reasons why you might want to stun one particular enemy in a group. Okay, I'll come back here later. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why you might want to stun one particular enemy. And there's a lot of... but to make that valuable, they have to make sure that they put doors everywhere in the game. Make sure this is just the exit. Yeah, it's just the exit. They have to make sure they put doors everywhere in the game. There's actually a problem. I remember I was working one time on an Indiana Jones game for PSP a long time ago. And one of the, you know, the main features that we had was we wanted, you know, Indy to be able to grab objects off tables, use them as improvised weapons, that sort of thing. The problem was we ended up realizing that it was actually, you know, with our resource budgets and stuff, it was hard to get enough items into a level for that to be valuable. So you've got this whole system where, yeah, I can pick up bottles and throw them and stuff like that, except half the time it's not worth it because I would have to go so far out of my way in order to get close to a bottle. Like, you'd find yourself sort of running around and kiting enemies just to get them close enough to a bottle to make the bottle useful. And a lot of times it just wasn't worth it. The player would just be like, I'm just going to punch him. I don't need the bottle. I'm just going to shoot him. And so that system ended up not being very worthwhile. And so you can see the effort that they put in this game into saying, okay, if we're going to put something in the game, we're going to put it everywhere so that you know, because this is a procedurally generated game. You know, I mean, like, all of the levels, the content's all procedural. And so that means if something's going to get into the game, we can't just sort of orchestrate very specific situations to make sure the feature gets used. And when game designers do that, it's kind of lame anyway. As a player, you can kind of tell, oh, I see what you want me to do here. And it just feels like it's just kind of silly. Like, you feel like you're being manipulated. You don't feel clever for finding answers when the answers are just sort of put right in front of your face. Yeah, I'll grab that. But in this game, what they do instead is they say, okay, we've got a few features. One of them is doors. When you blast through a door, anyone on the other side gets stunned. And then we're going to build our levels out of doors. There are doors freaking everywhere in this game. And the reason there's doors everywhere, yeah, sure, I'll grab that, is because they want to make, you know, absolutely sure, get down, that you have a lot of opportunities to use them cleverly. And because you know it's a procedural game, you know that these guys did specifically design these encounters. When you actually you find an opportunity to use a door, you do it fairly often, and you feel really clever for it. Because you feel like, well, nobody designed this specifically for me. I figured out that these two things fit together, and I made this happen. Oh, by the way, so one of the main values of... What? Wait, when did I do that? When did I... Oh, what? I didn't know I could do that. Oh, you're kidding. I can bust through these doors, but I just get cursed if I do? Wow. Okay, so that thing I just picked up, it's an amulet. I just wasted some money because I just bought another amulet. It's an amulet that will actually let me come back to life if I die. But I have to pay 3,000 gold to get to that door, and I didn't have the gold. And I accidentally busted through it, not even realizing that was an option. And now I'm cursed. I will die if I take a single hit from a single enemy until I've killed 40 enemies. See that 40 above my head? This is probably not the right time for me to go to that really hard level. Let's go to the easier level, because I don't think I'm going to make it either way. Hey there, buddy. Yeah, let's buy another gold bag. So Mitch is asking if I'm excited for E3 and when I get to tell you everything. I don't think E3 means I get to tell you guys everything about State of Decay. E3 means that we get to reveal some things. And I don't even know. But even if I did know, I couldn't even tell you what things. But, you know, steadily, over time, we'll be able to... Oh my gosh, what am I even doing? Okay. Whew. One thing I love about this game... Did you see that? What I just did? That's like virtually impossible in a lot of games to navigate. There are a lot of games I played where trying to navigate something that complex would have been really hard. It was hard-ish in this game, but not that hard because your abilities in this game, they really do what you expect them to, you know? Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I do not know what I'm doing. Okay, so let's rely heavily on our grenades and things. Oh, crap. We got a force field. I forgot I had a shield. Oh, and there I go. That was my hit. But... Oh, wait. Oh, man. I didn't get the advantage of that heart amulet. I guess if I'm killed by a curse, it doesn't count. Dang. I thought the heart amulet was going to help me. Oh, well. Anyway, fascinating game. I'm still learning things about it, despite the fact that I have been playing the crap out of it for the past, several days. So here I am, back at the beginning. And this time around, I'm actually getting a grenade right up front, which is nice. Oh, ouch. Now and then something doesn't quite respond the way I expect it to, but those situations are the exceptions. This game does feel great to play, by and large. Okay, I just hit a button, I opened a door. Over here. So wait, did I miss out on this guy's money? I did. So Lord Fortuitous mentions stunning in this game. Actually, stunning is something I really like, so let me see if it'll happen with these guys. You see, yeah, sometimes when would you just die? Sometimes when I hit a guy, they fall down and they get Tweety birds around their heads. There you go, yeah, and you were watching for that so much in this game. Because, a lot of these enemies, their attacks are not generally interruptible, except by a stun. And so you can just wail on a guy, and he is also going to wail on you back. And there's not a lot you can do about it. But if you see that little thing over the head, then you know they're not going to attack you. And so there's so many little split-second decisions you're making. Like an enemy that you normally would just, hit a couple times and then roll away from. If you see that piece of stunning feedback on them, you're like, oh wait, no, they're stunned. I'm going to stake around and destroy them. Grab this sucker. Glass cannon myself. Bow and infinite arrows. Nah, I'd rather have my damage over time, guys. But yeah, there's just so many, little rules that you learn in this game. Little, like how stunning works. Like the shield enemies, for instance. There are certain attacks that will stun them and certain attacks that they block. And over time and experimentation, just, the fact that every time you encounter a shield guy for the first time in a given playthrough, you likely have a completely different loadout. You end up trying different things against them. And you just slowly learn, because the game forces you to, by circumstance, you slowly learn what works on them and what doesn't. rolling past them and doing damage over time on them is actually the one that I like the best. But you can also block them, which stuns them. You can freeze them. Freezing is one of the only things that works on them that you know, where other things don't. I really don't like the bear trap that much, but I do like the biter swarm, so I'm gonna grab that guy. Okay, no, I'm not going to condemn this time. We're going to try to find the ossuary. So Cloudcraft suggests that I should talk about the mobility in this game. Just like the fact that, for instance, I jump, like everything that I expect to have happen happens. There are very few exceptions where one action will block out another one. Like I can jump and then roll in the air, because why not, right? I can, you know, roll. I can like roll right in the middle of any attack. There's a couple of like sometimes during a fall, I won't be able to do exactly what I intend right afterwards, and it'll just be a little bit of a twinge, just because so many things, like so many of my moves, interrupt each other and are just instantly responsive. Okay, not the toxic sewers. But a huge part of this game is really about sort of getting behind enemies, dodging an enemy's attack, and that's exactly the kind of game that I usually love. Actually, one of my favorite side-scrolling games of all time was Dishwasher Dead Samurai and Dishwasher 2 Vampire Smile, because that was the first game I played anyway where they just made teleporting just one of your natural part of your natural moveset, which is you can just, oh, by the way, you can just teleport whenever you want, wherever you want, within a distance, you know, but like you could just like, I want to teleport, sure, anytime. It was a move that could just interrupt any other move. Nobody cares, just do whatever you want. And there's a lot of games that try to, you know, tightly control abilities like that. But this game was just like, no, you can just do it all the time, and then we'll work with that. You know, then we'll come up with enemies that are dangerous when you have the ability to zap all over the screen. And this game doesn't quite go that far, but I do have that same sense of, you know, like, anytime I want to, I can do this, like, rocket down attack that prevents me from taking any fall damage. You don't really take damage from falling, you just get stunned by it. But yeah, it prevents me from taking fall damage. It does damage when I land. I can roll anywhere. And when he's very grabby when it comes to grabbing ledges. I've got like absolute air control. I can like jump and turn around in the air. I'll do a lot of, oh no! Here, have some biters. So I just threw a couple of damage over time grenades on him. One that sucks him in and the other one that just eats him. Okay, so yeah, so these little stationary things are gonna, oops. I thought I was stepping off a cliff, but this darkness here is actually a platform. All right, well, let me get that back then. Actually, I might as well just land on this guy. But anyway, oh, crap. Yeah, so I can throw damage over time stuff at that guy and stay far back this time. Instead of having to brave the timer, try to charge it as hard as I can and hit it with my melee weapon, now I can actually hit it from afar. So now those stationary, you know, area effect pylons are just a completely different challenge for me now that I've come in with this particular loadout. And so, well, as fun as it is in a lot of games to sort of like plan my perfect loadout and take a bunch of, you know, like I did this in Horizon, right? Like I really enjoyed sort of figuring out which set of 4 weapons I usually wanted to bring with me into battle. Like, which are the ones that I actually liked the best, that I was the best with. Oh, interesting. When an enemy dies midair, they drop their stuff on the last solid platform they were on, which is usually really nice. In that case, it was a headache, but I definitely appreciate it when I knock them all the way off cliffs. Yeah, in this game, I just feel like I've got a ton of control, which is, you know, they did the Destiny 2 announcement today, and that was always one of the things I really appreciated about Destiny 2. I mean, Destiny also, not Destiny 2. I mean, we played Destiny 2. All right, come on. There, biters. Haha. Yeah, just if you can get the sort of the moment to moment of your game feeling this good, people will just keep coming back for more. You know, you can get other things wrong, but people will keep wanting to have the experience, the tactile experience of playing this game. And so I think the things that Dead Cells gets right, most importantly, are number one, they came up with, oh sure, fancy ice bow, why not? They came up with a set of basic mechanics that feel really good to play, and they, tuned the crap out of them and made them really feel right in a way that a lot of other games don't. And then, oh crap. Oh crap, what is happening right to me right now? Okay. Sure, better magnetic grenade? Absolutely. Yeah, so they came up with that, basic set of mechanics, and then, rather than just coming up with some linear way for you to sort of step through all of them and discover them, they came up with this procedurally generated world where you're given a random assortment of them, given access to a random assortment of them each time. You have some control over which ones you pick up, but which ones you have access to is not up to you at all. And so it basically keeps it interesting. The player has to keep, sort of evaluating their strategy, learning new things about the game. There you go. Player has to keep learning new things about the game. And yeah, eat them, little worms. Oh man, there we go. So the player actually gets to appreciate everything. That's the thing that you have a problem with in a lot of games, is like if you don't balance it absolutely perfectly, you're always going to have, everyone's least favorite weapon, everyone's least favorite ability. And you spent just as much time making that one as you did all the others. But why am I not using my grenade? Anyway. Now, Lord Fortuna's has a friend who gets mad at me when I don't use all of the weapons at my disposal. Knife Storm. Oh, I love Knife Storm. I don't know if I like it more than either of these, though. Well, we'll replace Biter Swarm for now. Yeah, so they came up with a set of mechanics that feel good, and then they came up with a system that basically makes you get to know all of the mechanics. That gives you a reason to actually experience them all and to strategically always be thinking about them. Like, okay, which set of mechanics, like this particular set, this new one that I've been offered, how does it play with the ones I already have? Do I have a nice balanced set? Do I need to spend some of my gold to do a little better? You're just constantly thinking strategically. It never becomes rote. So the moment to moment never becomes rote because it just feels good, and the higher level, strategic thinking of the game also never becomes rote because you're just, you're dealing with a different set of random tools every single time. Oh crap! I did not think about what I was doing there. That was not close enough to do the kind of damage I wanted. Whew, all right. I think you could definitely see, if you're watching my health bar there, you could definitely see... the way, you can take damage, and it'll show up as yellow on the health bar, and then you'll get it back if you manage to kill somebody. Sometimes, if you've got the right set of abilities and you really are comfortable with them, you can just kind of go on a tear sometimes in this game where you're just annihilating everybody, and it feels so good. So... Unfortunately... Oh, crap. We've got an elite here. Oh, crap. Ah, crap. I take one more hit from this guy. Okay. Whew! Problem is, it takes time to use my health potion, and so if I do it in the middle of a fight, I'm just going to get killed. Golden Amulet. Poison no longer affects you. Sewers, here we come. And damage from projectiles reduced. Sure, let's do that. I don't know if I'm actually planning to go to the sewers, but whatever. I feel good about beating that elite guy. So elite guys are interesting. Oh, crap. I kind of missed the deadline on that guy. Oh, wow. Okay. I think if you kill the exact guy that killed you, I think you get your entire health loss back from that guy. Come on. There we go. Whew. Ow. Alright, this is not going too well. More health potion. Oh, crap. Hey, poison no longer affects me. There we go. Carrots! Carrots affect me. I absolutely love that this game heals you with carrots. I don't know. I like feeling like Bugs Bunny. That's what I really want out of a game. I want a game that makes me feel like Bugs Bunny. Okay, so there's an area I haven't explored yet. There's an area I haven't explored yet. Let's head over there. Okay, that leads to the prison depths. Good to know. Let's see where the other one leads. Upgrades, that's where it leads. So glad I came here. Oh, come on. More destruction. What? Thought I could roll through that stuff. The feeling of just landing on a guy and ow, ow, ow. Okay. I'm gonna figure that out in a second. Maybe we are. Okay, first. Alright. There we go. See, and that setup, I don't think a specific level designer, like, planned that thing out. That just happened, and I just had to deal with it. Oh, crap. Okay. I think there's one more little spot I've missed here. got folks in the chat that are talking a lot about Injustice 2 that just came out, and how it's enjoying it. I hear that game's getting really great reviews. Tournament fighting games are not usually my style. By my style, I mean I suck at them. And poison all nearby items when you take damage? Yes. But I do like them because just as a genre, even though being really good at that kind of game is hard, it does tend to be remarkably accessible to new players, right? Because you can button mash around and just sort of get something out of it. You're not the barrier to entry is pretty low. It's just the barrier to greatness is really high. And so sometimes I consider, getting games like that, say, for my kids and stuff, because it's the kind of game where, for one thing, I suck enough at it that I won't just automatically beat my children at it. Oh, there's a place I haven't been here. Oh, because of this door. Okay, so let me talk to you about this door a little bit. Clearly, there's cool stuff on the other side of this door. When I hit open, it says it was sealed 14 minutes, 38 seconds ago. Now, I don't know how long I've been in this level, but it can't have been much longer than 14 minutes and 38 seconds. You can probably scroll back in the video or something and see how long it's been. But given the fact that this level is like a maze, the chance that I'll actually, and it's procedurally generated, I can't learn how it fits together, the chance of me getting to this door in time feels like nil. It feels like I have zero chance, or like 0.5% chance of ever getting to this door on time, even if I'm just trying constantly. And so I feel like either there's just this really draconian thing like, yeah, if you want this stuff, you just got to rush and hope that you find this door in time. Maybe that's it, or maybe there's an ability I'm going to get in the future that makes these doors accessible. I don't know which one of those to think it is. Tiz, I know that you, or at least someone in your family, plays this game. Maybe you have some idea of how it actually works. But if you've actually seen someone get to that door in time, I certainly have never done it myself. But it is sort of the last remaining thing in the level where I've never successfully interacted with it. So it does make me think maybe there's something I'm going to unlock later in the game that either lets me find it early so I can run to it, or that lets me turn back time so that I can, undo it or whatever. All right, I have unlocked gold recovery. So now I'm down to secondary upgrades on a lot of this stuff. So I think I'm going to start with a rapier because it's kind of my favorite. These are just minor damage upgrades now that I'm down to. If I've found a new weapon blueprint, I'll be able to spend my cells unlocking it. And so that'll feel like, I'm making a big difference. But right now, I'm basically now to the point where most of my unlocking activities are making tiny incremental improvements, which, hey, they are improvements. But, ow, that's not what I meant to do. Wow, they do a lot of damage. That's what I wanted to do. And holy crap. Whew. Oh, wow! So one thing that is easy to lose track of is the fact that each time you go up in a level, the same enemies do markedly more damage. So I kind of got accustomed to not taking those guys all that seriously, but they suddenly have a lot more hit points and they do a lot more damage than they normally would. So now, hey, I got to recover more of my gold because I finished that unlock, and I think this time I'll grab the spiked shield. And here we are at the beginning of another playthrough. So I love this game. I'm going to keep playing this game until I've done everything I possibly can with it. I don't know whether that's going to be me winning the game or if it's going to be me running up against the limits of my skill and realizing I can't win the game. But either way, I'm going to be playing the crap out of this. And it's still only in early access. You're going to keep expanding it, keep making it bigger and better. So it's definitely one to look out for. I got it on Steam, by the way. I don't know if it's going to be on any other platforms, but I did get it on Steam. So folks have asked me about that in the past because I basically been playing this game all week on my stream. But yeah, so that's Dead Cells. I really can't say enough good things about it. It's been taken over my life. Well, to the degree that anything can. I have 4 children. They took over my life. This is taking over the small amount of my life that I call my free time. But anyway, that is Dead Cells, and I am gonna quit.